So, hey, Facebook family. I'm Hanarita, and today I have a special guest, Kira Westwick, joining me. Kira has inspired me since I met her 15 months ago, when I heard her story of how she made a determined, intentional decision over 3 years ago to overcome her shyness and create a six-figure income, helping families create healthy cultures in their homes and build successful online businesses. So I'm inspired by doers, and Kira is that person. Thank you, Kira, for joining me. Would it be okay if I asked you a few questions today?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Okay, so can you just give us a little bit of background about how you got involved in your business from home and what led to you to where you are now?
Absolutely. So I guess if we go way back to where it all really started, in my early 20s, I had a lot of health issues, which was very strange because I was such a healthy child. But once I became responsible for my own health, I probably wasn't making the best decisions. And as a consequence, I was ill often and had some real issues that I had to deal with. And the more I went to the doctors, the sicker I got. And it wasn't until I really made the realization that lifestyle choices that I was making every day was the thing that was impacting my health. And for me to get well, I would have to change those lifestyle choices. And once I did that, I got my health and vitality back. So that led to my lifelong passion since then for helping people with their health. So I've done many things in that field up until now. We had 3 health and fitness studios on the Gold Coast where we were providing the education around healthy eating as well as helping people with their exercise. And it was a really rewarding career. There's no doubt there was a lot of emotional revenue in it, but after 10 years, we really found ourselves completely depleted and exhausted from giving so much and helping so much. And we never saw an equal exchange financially, and we were always struggling to pay our rent and, stressed about bills constantly. Even though my partner in particular was working 70 hours a week, we never seemed to get ahead. So when this online opportunity came into our life, it actually was in our life for several years before we recognized the opportunity for what it was. We actually fell in love with the amazing product that's part of it, and we're taking it ourselves and was recommending it. And 3 years from when we started taking the product, my husband just decided finally to say what if to the business opportunity. And I was completely surprised that business, our life had taken this turn, but our life has changed dramatically for the better because of it. And I'm now in a position where I'm still living my passion, where I'm helping hundreds of people every single month transform their health. But I also get to help people transform their life and help them get to live life according to their highest values. And this business for us, family, has always been our highest value, but we were constantly sacrificing that just to survive, not even to thrive. But now we get to live every day putting our family first because we have the financial means to do so. So I'm so passionate about helping people with that now too.
Awesome. That's so cool. So what are the top 3 things that someone should know in order to be successful in a business like this?
I think number one, it's making the decision that you're going to be in no matter what. I think when we decide to be successful at anything, when we decide we really want something, when we're all in for it, it's incredible what we can make happen. And I think that's the biggest detriment to people who may try a business like this, is they don't really fully commit to the success of it no matter what. I'm a firm believer, but that every single one of us is absolutely full of unlimited potential and really can achieve whatever we want in life, as long as we make the decision that that's what we want. And then second, probably on the same level of that would be the vision. What can this really be for you? It's so incredibly important that you really, truly understand and hold a vision for what you want to create with this opportunity, because anything worth doing in life is going to have challenges along the way. And for me, that's one of the best parts about this business, because the person I've been able to grow into because of this business, who I am today versus 3 years ago, is a much more empowered, centered woman with so much more self-worth and so much more self-confidence than I ever had before. And if I hadn't have taken on this journey with that commitment and that decision and with the vision of what it was going to be, any time I felt challenged, it would have been easy to give up. But, you know, we had so much pain in our life before this business around my husband working 70 hours a week and never having time for us because of the business, and all of the stress with our financial, you know, the finances in our life were impacting our relationship. And all of that pain to me was that driving factor to get me outside my comfort zone, because I had a vision of a life of freedom where we could retire my husband and work from home together and, you know, bring our family back together and not have so much stress in our lives, and maybe even travel for the first time ever, and, you know, be able to help our own families financially. And that dream allowed me to do the things that scared me, because I was someone who was very shy and very introverted. And, you know, if I didn't have a powerful vision, there's no way that I would have made a change in my life. I would have held on to my comfort zone. And then lastly, I would say success leaves clues. You know, find someone more successful than you, find someone who has what you want and do what they did. And if you can be teachable to that, you know, in our particular business and our team, we have an incredible system that supports anyone in being successful. You don't have to have any special qualifications or skills before you come into this, because there's such a basic system to help meet everybody where they're at. And if you're willing to be teachable, and if you're willing to follow the clues of success, and if you're willing to be in action, you absolutely will create the same success.
Actually, that's great. You know, it's a vision. Your vision is the thing that pulls you. But what you just said at the end there, it leads me to my next question. And that's, how long does it take to become proficient at what you're doing? And how much experience does a person need?
Well, first of all, you definitely need no experience. So I was a mum before this, a stay-at-home mum, and honestly, that was my lifelong dream. I was living my lifelong dream of just being a stay-at-home mum, and you know, that's still my number one priority and the thing that fills me with the most joy. But honestly, just being a mum, after 8 years of that, I'd lost my identity in who I was. I'd lost my confidence. I'd lost my voice, because I wasn't ever doing anything that stretched me to grow. And I'm a strong believer now that if you're not growing, you're dying. And, you know, if you're not feeling inspired and passionate every day, you know, if you're feeling down on yourself or on life, it's probably because you're not growing and you're not doing things that inspire you. So that was me. You know, my whole life, because I told myself I was just going to be a mum, I had no business skills and I had no business passion either. So I really didn't think I had anything that it took to be successful at a business like this. But what I did have in hindsight was incredible desire, and the willingness to show up and be taught and led. And to take one step at a time. And that's what I love about our business, is it's literally putting one foot in front of the other and learning as you go, that gets you to the end goal. So you really just need to have that faith to take that leap. And, you know, in our business, we have literally people from all walks of life. Some people had a lot of skills that contributed to this business, but most had no skills, you know, prior to this that would contribute to success in this business. And for me, I've been able to grow one of the strongest and fastest teams in the world, and I didn't have any skills before I came into this. So, and that's part of what has, you know, really just, that's what I love most about my journey, I guess, on reflection, is that woman I've been able to grow into, because no one can ever take that away from me now, to show myself that I really can be successful. I really can be a stay-at-home mama, but a boss babe, a businesswoman at the same time, is so empowering, and it's so inspiring for my children. And I now get to help so many other people find that with this as well. That was passion. I'm sorry, what was the other part of your question?
How much experience does a person need to have?
Yeah.
But
And how much time was it? How much time to be proficient?
Yeah, how long does it take to become proficient?
Yeah. You know, what's great about this business is everybody is a volunteer. Everybody has their own business within the business. So there is no expectation or pressure. And that means that you get to decide your journey. You know, as I said, you don't need a lot of skill set. It's all there for you to learn. And, you know, if you're someone who has real little ones at home and the majority of your day is taken up, you know, being a mum, then you do this business in stolen moments. And it might take you a little bit more time to grow the business that you want, but you're okay with that because you've got that balance in your life. Whereas, you know, if you're young and, you know, you've got all the time in the world to work on this and there's no one dependent on you, then you're going to put a lot more time into it initially and it might grow a little bit quicker. But what I know to be true is what this business can give you. They call it a 4 to 5 year career. And what this business can give you in 4 to 5 years is unmatched to anything I've ever seen personally. And, you know, I now earn more per hour than I ever did in a 40-hour work week doing a job that filled me with depression and sadness, that I was tied to a job, that I showed up for somebody else for their dreams to build their vision for life. And I used to go in every Wednesday morning an hour early for a meeting, which I didn't get paid for. So I was constantly showing up for somebody else for minimal wage, and I was not living the life of my dreams. But with this business, showing up in stolen moments and showing up for yourself, you really can, over the next 4 to 5 years, set your life up for the rest of your life to live according to your values and live each day on your choice. You know, I wake up every day and I decide what I want to do with the day. Somebody does not decide for me what I'm doing with my day. And I think that's the most valuable asset, other than our health, that we have, is the freedom to choose what we do with our time. And as I said, I don't know any other business that can give you that kind of freedom.
That's incredible. It's beautiful. And I've seen it, and I've experienced some of it. It's just been an awesome journey. Thanks for that.
Yeah.
So can you provide a real life example of other people who have followed your advice?
Yes. So two that come to mind, when I actually started this business, I was extremely passionate about the product and helping people. And as I said, did not see myself as a businesswoman. So I actually did not embrace the business side. I was actually just helping people with their health, and had more just helping customers. And two of my customers, their names are Jackie and Erin. They're both mums. And they just wanted to get back to their pre-baby weight. And so I worked with them. They had an amazing experience. And both of them around about the same time reached out to me and said, you know, I'd really love to do the business. There's so many people that I would like to help with this. And people were already asking them what had they been doing, because they were looking so good. So I was kind of forced into doing the business when I thought that I never would. They were just, actually, I wasn't even in the health industry. At least I had, a little bit of knowledge in the health industry. Jackie was a teacher, and Erin was just helping her husband with their window cleaning business, I believe. And so they didn't have any skills that you would think you would need for a business like this, but they were passionate about sharing the message and getting it out there. And we really grew together in this business, actually. We conquered our fears together. We got outside of our comfort zone together. We supported one another. Interestingly, I felt like they were family, but because they lived in other locations around Australia, because we do this business online, I didn't meet them until over a year of being in business with them. I didn't actually meet them face to face. It was just all on Zoom. So it's amazing the community we were able to create, and, we were just working online together. And so, Erin is now earning, I believe, over $10,000 a month, which is giving her a lot more freedom and choices. She had another baby in the last year, so she actually has 3 young ones at home, and she still manages her husband's business. So she's doing a lot, but she's still created massive success with this in stolen moments. And Jackie has never had to return to work, and she's about to have her 3rd baby. She had one when she came into this. She had another a year ago, and she's about to give birth to her 3rd, and she's never had to go back to work. And They were also able to move out of the small country town that they weren't enjoying but had to be there for her husband's work. This business gave them the opportunity to move and for him to take a job that he liked a bit more but had less pay. But because of her wage, they had that opportunity to do that, and they've just moved into a bigger home, and I just see their life continuing to improve. And her husband's dream is to travel as a musician, and he has not been able to do that up until this point. He's been able to do that more and more, and they're very close to being able to retire. So this business really does give dreams back to people.
And that's so empowering, having to been part of that journey, being part of their journey, isn't it? And being a part of this amazing community. I really enjoy the community.
Oh, yeah. The emotional.
Yeah.
100%. The emotional revenue that we get from this business far exceeds, the finances are like under my wildest dreams, but the emotional revenue every day is just off the charts. To see women blossom and grow, and men, obviously I work with a lot of women, but just to see that growth, to see the change in their life, to see them achieving their dreams, and just to know that you saying yes at the very least was all part of that happening for them is just absolutely incredible.
Oh, that's awesome. So what are some of the common problems that some people might experience in creating a successful home business like this?
I think the biggest one is just that doubt in yourself and in what you're doing. And I know this was a really big problem for me in the beginning. It's why I didn't embrace the business at first, because I certainly doubted myself, but I also didn't understand the opportunity. And so that held me back because I was worried about what other people thought of me. And it wasn't until about 12 months into my journey that I started educating myself around how amazing this industry was, that I all of a sudden got so much certainty and clarity about how many people I could help and how legitimately amazing this opportunity is. I will never do anything else with my time. I would never invest my time in any other kind of business. To me, this is better on every level. And it's such a wise investment of your time, what you can create with this. And so now that I have that certainty, I literally could not care what anyone thinks, because I know how many people I'm helping. And that's what I care about. And when you get certain, the most certain person always wins. You start attracting people because they too get certainty and belief in how great this journey is. So I think just getting a really great understanding and to stop caring what other people think, because if you continue to live your life like that, you're continuing to live a life according to someone else's values. And I know that nobody was going to give me the life I have now. And if I had cared what every person thought along the way, I would still have a husband working 70 hours a week, and I would still be in financial strife. But because I got over it, I now have financial freedom. We live in the home of our dreams. We get to travel the world. We get to contribute. We get to just live life on a whole nother level. So I think that probably more than anything is just to stop caring what people think. I think in life in general, not just for this business.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I have one more question for you. If you had one secret to give about this, and one secret that has really contributed to your success in running this amazing online home business, what would it be?
One of my favorite quotes is, the only reason why you're not living the life of your dreams is because of the BS stories you keep telling yourself of why you can't. And going back to the fact that every single person listening to this right now has unlimited potential, was born with unlimited potential. And the only reason why all of us, including myself, despite what I've achieved in this business, I still am not using my full potential. I'm striving to, at least. But, so many of us over our lifetime have all these BS stories either drummed into us, or we form them ourselves in our head. And it's completely blocking us from living an incredible life. the world is full of abundance. There really is enough to go around abundantly for everyone. And the smart people, the successful people who have everything they want, they know that and they go out and get it. You know, success is available to everybody, but it doesn't come for free. Are you willing to recognize the stories that don't serve you? Are you willing to rewrite those stories so that you can go on and live the life that you really dream of? Because life is so short. I could never live my life working a job that didn't fill me with passion and joy anymore. I mean, life is way too short to be giving up so much time to things that do not fill you with absolute joy. So stop letting the stories prevent you from creating an incredible life, from growing into your potential, from owning who you are. And who you are is amazing. And it doesn't matter how bad your self-belief is. You know, mine was really, really bad when I started this. But when I quietened my mind and I really listened to my heart, I knew the truth was that I had the potential and ability to be successful if I chose to be, if I was willing to do the work, and if I was willing to quieten my mind and know that, and just remember the truth of who I was every day, which is unlimited potential. So that would be my big tip, is to stop letting stories hold you back. It's all just a story. Fear is false evidence appearing real. And the number one reason why people don't really get started in this or they quit is fear that they're not going to be successful, and stories about why they can't be successful. Mm-hmm. And we have evidence within our team, within our community, within the company, of so many different kinds of people, no matter what excuses they have, achieve success in this. So there really is no reason why anybody couldn't achieve what I've been able to achieve.
Thank you. Thanks so much. I'm going to leave that there. That's an amazing message for anyone who's wanting to create success in life, in an online business. Thank you for sharing your story. Your drive to help others has inspired and continue to inspire mums who are wanting to take back their dreams and live a passionate, purposeful life. So thank you for taking time out to speak to us today. And for those of you listening, if you're looking for an opportunity to where you only need 3 things, and Kira mentioned these today. You have to have a desire. You have to have if you have a desire, if you have a willingness to take action and do the do, be a doer. And if you are teachable, then feel free to send me a private message, and I'll be happy to share something with you which has changed my life, the life of my family, and the life of so many other people. So thank you so much, Kira, for talking to us today.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Bye.